Okay, let's unpack this because today we're diving into something really unique, something that twists and turns language until, well, it reveals entirely new worlds. We're going deep into the fascinating realm of Hypercube Anagrams. Our source for this adventure is excerpts from Hypercube Anagrams, a poetic collection. And our mission, it's basically to appreciate how language, when you rearrange it, can transform complex ideas, even those that seem incredibly abstract, into surprising, often really poetic, new meanings and incredibly vivid imagery. So you're about to experience this delightful blend of intellectual playfulness and unexpected connections. And just quickly, for anyone unfamiliar with the term hypercube, think of it as the multi-dimensional cousin of a square or a cube. A perfectly ordered, incredibly complex geometric structure. It represents abstraction and intricate systems at their peak. It's a fascinating concept, and it provides a really rich starting point for our linguistic journey today.
It truly does.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's often overlooked, I think, in our everyday use of language is its inherent malleability. It's so flexible. Wordplay, especially through anagrams like these, it can reveal hidden structures or perspectives within concepts we thought we understood completely. It sort of hints at insights far beyond just simple definitions, showing us that meaning isn't always fixed, but can be, well, a dynamic interplay of letters, often with quite surprising results.
Absolutely. And our first example today is just perfect for setting the stage because it's almost self-referential in its brilliance. The phrase hypercube anagrams itself rearranges to become creepy hub.
Thank
I
you.
mean, what do you make of that instant, almost jarring transformation from this precise, complex, geometric concept to something so, well, visceral and immediately unsettling?
That's exactly the tension this anagram exploits, isn't it? We move from the precisely defined hypercube, a symbol of rigorous order and, intricate structure, to this ambiguous, kind of ominous, creepy hub.
Hmm.
The core insight here, I think, is that even concepts built on rigorous order can, with just a simple shift in perspective, reveal a primal, unsettling underbelly. It forces us to reevaluate their perceived nature. It suggests that what appears rational and contained might actually, at its core, harbor something clandestine or maybe even sinister.
So it's not just a playful rearrangement then, it's almost like a warning that even in our most rational, structured systems, there could be this hidden, maybe darker focal point that we're just not seeing.
Precisely, yeah. It nudges us to look beyond the surface, to question what foundational, perhaps unsettling core might lie beneath something that looks outwardly intricate and abstract.
Wow, okay, already we're seeing these hidden depths. Now our next anagram, this one really kicks up the imagery. It presents a kind of surreal narrative. A cyber-phoebe hugs anarchy trump. I mean, this instantly sparks my imagination with that blend of the modern cyber and the classical Phoebe. She's a figure often associated with light, the moon, maybe prophecy. And then we have anarchy and trompe, which, if you know your art history, refers to trompe l'oeil, an illusion.
Right.
What do you make of this fascinating contrast, especially how this cyber Phoebe interacts with anarchy trompe?
You've absolutely nailed the essence of that captivating imagery. Yeah. What's remarkable is how this anagram constructs such a layered narrative. Cyber-phoebe. It immediately conjures a digital seer, maybe. Or a futuristic guide. Perhaps an artificial intelligence entity possessing foresight. And when this entity hugs anarchy trompe, it suggests an intimate relationship with, or even an embrace of, a deception inherent in chaos. Anarchy trompe could imply that the disorder we perceive is itself an illusion, maybe a carefully constructed facade. Or perhaps that chaos is being used as a tool for deception. The profound takeaway, I think, is that this anagram creates a compelling narrative, digital influence or AI interacting with fundamental forces of order and chaos. It suggests that even within apparent disorder, there might be a designed illusion or, a manipulated reality orchestrated by this cyber-phoebe.
That's incredible, yeah. It really makes you think about who's pulling the strings, even in what seems like pure pandemonium. But, how do we discern if it's truly a designed illusion, or is it just our human tendency to seek order and chaos? That's a crucial distinction, definitely. And this anagram, by blending cyber-phoebe with anarchy trompe, really plays with that very question. It doesn't give us a definitive answer, but rather compels us to look beyond surface chaos, to look for deeper, possibly controlled narratives. It's about questioning the authenticity of perceived disorder.
Okay, right. Now, our third anagram takes a completely different turn. It starts with something so unexpectedly simple, almost primal. Bah. Cherub entraps my echo groupie. I mean, bah.
Yeah.
It's like a sheep, kind of vulnerable. Then we have the cherub, which usually signifies innocence or divine purity, right?
Yeah.
But here it's actively entrapping.
Hmm.
And an echo groupie, That phrase itself just paints a picture of someone who just follows along, echoing whatever they hear. What implications do you see in this juxtaposition, this mix of innocence, manipulation, and, well, blind following? That initial bah, it instantly introduces a layer of simple vulnerability, almost a primal and thinking response, and that starkly contrasts with the imagery that follows. The juxtaposition of innocence, embodied by the cherub, with an act of manipulation or capture in traps, it's incredibly sharp. And echo groupy, yeah, it perfectly evokes a compliant, perhaps unthinking following, someone who lacks independent thought and just reiterates what others say, what they hear. So this anagram prompts a deeper consideration of the power dynamics at play. It reveals that perceived innocence can be weaponized or, well, corrupted. And it highlights the susceptibility of those who simply echo without critical engagement. The central insight here is how easily unthinking obedience, often cloaked in this aura of innocence, can be exploited and controlled by seemingly pure forces.
I definitely see your point about manipulation, but could echo groupie also hint at the, I don't know, the allure of belonging? The comfort of just following along, even if it means sacrificing individual thought.
Oh, absolutely. That's a brilliant nuance. Yes. The comfort of conformity can indeed be a powerful draw. And the cherub here might be offering that sense of belonging as part of its entrapment. So it's not just like outright malice, perhaps, but maybe a more subtle exploitation of a very human desire for acceptance. It adds another layer to the critique of passive followership. Definitely.
Interesting. Okay, let's move to our fourth anagram. This takes us back to the hypercube, but in a very different context. Oh, hypercube charms a pub by teenage. That exclamation "oh" sets an almost dramatic tone, doesn't it? But then the abstract multidimensional hypercube is brought right down to earth, into a very mundane, social, and maybe youthful setting. It charms a pub by teenage. It's such an unexpected grounding for such a complex concept. How does this anagram bridge that gap between profound abstraction and everyday life?
Well, this anagram brilliantly plays with the contrast you've identified between the highly conceptual and abstract nature of a hypercube and its ability to charm a pub by teenage. A delightful image, really. It implies an unexpected appeal or a hidden social dimension to complex ideas. The profound takeaway, I think, is that this anagram symbolizes how sophisticated concepts, seemingly relegated to academic halls, can actually be made accessible, engaging even to a younger, less specialized audience. It suggests there's an inherent charm or intrigue in these ideas that, when presented correctly, can captivate even those typically uninterested in geometry or, advanced mathematics. It points to the idea that intellectual depth can possess an unexpected, almost magnetic social appeal, showing us the hidden charm in places and contexts we least expect.
That's a really hopeful way to look at it. I like that. That even the most abstract ideas can find a casual audience or a compelling human connection, if packaged in the right way.
It truly is, yeah. It challenges the notion that complexity must always remain intimidating or inaccessible.
Right. Okay, our fifth anagram also offers a really striking and rather humorous image. An obscure ape by hypermath Cherub. I love the vivid picture here. An obscure ape, this primal, perhaps overlooked figure placed directly alongside the highly technical hypermath. And then it's capped off with this encouraging, almost imperative phrase, cheer up. It feels like a pep talk, maybe, for someone grappling with extreme complexity, or maybe a quirky mascot for a field that desperately needs one. What does this unexpected pairing suggest about our relationship with advanced intellectual challenges?
You've really hit on a core aspect of this anagram, especially that blend of the primitive, perhaps overlooked or misunderstood, represented by the obscure ape. With the pinnacle of abstract thought, the hypermath, and the inclusion of cheer up, it adds this intriguing element of encouragement, or even a direct command. We can interpret this in a few ways, I think. Perhaps it symbolizes finding simplicity, or even a relatable mascot within extreme complexity, suggesting that even the most daunting and intellectual challenges can be approached with a certain levity, or like a simplified entry point. The profound insight here is that this anagram illustrates the unexpected joy or simplicity that can emerge from confronting and ultimately understanding advanced intellectual challenges. It reminds us that even in the most obscure and complex corners of knowledge, there's a human element, a need for encouragement, a touch of the primitive that helps us connect.
Yeah, it's like finding the heart in the machine, maybe, or the humor in the equation. As if the ape is a kind of reminder that even hypermath comes back to something fundamentally human.
Exactly. It's about grounding the abstract in the relatable. That's a good way to put it.
And for our grand finale, the sixth and final anagram in this collection.
Wow.
It really pushes the boundaries and brings us to a provocative culmination. Happy cubed cherubims to an orgy. This one is so striking. And potentially provocative, right? You have the blend of the geometric cube, the innocent cherub, and the joyful happy, leading to a scene of uninhibited revelry. An orgy. It's quite the journey, isn't it? From the abstract to the, well, primal. What is this final transformation inviting us to consider?
Well, this anagram offers the most profound and perhaps most audacious transformation and surprising connections of the entire collection. I think so. We start with the geometric cube, then combine it with the innocent cherub to create something happy, which then dramatically shifts to an orgy. This progression implies a profound liberation, almost an ecstatic release from rigid structures or conventional ideas. The core insight here is that by rearranging even the most fundamental or innocent concepts, we can unveil hidden desires, unexpected expressions of joy, or even primal outcomes that challenge our preconceived notions of order and decorum. It suggests that deep within structured forms and innocent appearances can lie this uninhibited, unbridled energy waiting to be unleashed. It invites us to question where true happiness or fulfillment might ultimately reside. It's a powerful statement about breaking free from constraint.
Wow, what a journey these words have taken us on. Seriously. From a complex geometric shape becoming a creepy hub, all the way to a happy cube cherub beaming towards an orgy, we've really seen how the simple rearrangement of letters can transform familiar words into entirely new landscapes of meaning, imagery, and even narrative. It truly emphasizes the surprising power and flexibility of language.
It really does. And this raises an important question, doesn't it? If the mere rearrangement of letters can unveil such hidden landscapes and surprising narratives, challenging our fixed assumptions about meaning and the very structure of language itself, what does that tell us about the deeper truths that might be hidden in plain sight all around us?
Exactly. That's the perfect thought to leave with. If the simple rearrangement of letters can unveil such hidden landscapes and surprising narratives, what other hypercube anagrams are waiting to be discovered? In the everyday language and concepts we encounter, inviting us all to look beyond the obvious. It's definitely something to ponder as you go about your day. Thanks so much for joining us on this deep dive into the unexpected depths of language.